19 million people per year go through some sort of social anxiety in the world. Out of those 19 million, 60% are then diagnosed with depression. So that is why I want to make this video about social anxiety, how to get out of your comfort zone. And I'm going to give you 5 hacks based on life experience, based on just observing different people, collecting a lot of information and my experiences with life. Tip number 1 is very simple, and it is this: make a fool out of yourself. Now, what do I mean by this? I obviously don't mean start doing stuff that you won't do and then people criticizing you. I'm talking about just don't be afraid to do silly things. One of my mentors once told me, if you struggle with anxiety, when you next go into a coffee shop and you struggle speaking to people, just by accidentally make sure the drink falls over. Because in that chaos, what's going to happen is it's going to force you out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to speak, you're going to have to say sorry. The person in the coffee shop is going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry for spilling your drink, but it was you really. So that's a little hack. To be honest, it's not the best example, but I've thought about this. It's kind of making a fool out of yourself. But also it's forcing you to speak and forcing you to do something different. Tip number 2 is try new things. Now, I say this on my channel a lot, try new things. Why? Because it's going to force you to work out what you're good at, your skills, knowledge. It's going to develop knowledge that you don't have or do have, and you're going to really feel good. And what's going to happen through trying these different things, you're going to find it easier to then do other things. Kind of like a compound effect. It's a knock-on effect essentially. So the more you do new things, the less scared you're going to be of trying other things that will lead you out of your comfort zone. For me personally, what took me out of my comfort zone is starting a completely new career, which was getting a job in teaching. I've never done teaching before. I've done some sort of mentorship and I'm quite book smart, but it kind of forced me out of my comfort zone because the initial step was to accept this job offer working with kids who have behavioral difficulties. But before I took this job, I didn't think that it would be like it is now. I honestly thought it would be one of those horrendous jobs where you have to look after the most naughtiest students. But what actually worked out well for me is I barely even work with naughty kids. I work with kids who have problems with anxiety, and I actually, help them on the journey. I make sure they're catching up with the work and things like that. At first, I didn't want to do it. At first, I'm like, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not quite cut out for this. But after trying it out and after speaking to different students and building rapport with them, I worked out that actually it's not that hard. We've got a natural tendency to actually nurture people, and that's a biological instinct. That's a psychological instinct to nurture people, to look after people, to build relationships. And it came quite natural to me, but I didn't think I was good at that before. And also I've tried out numerous different things in my life, one being music. When I used to play in a band, I used to be one of the best trumpet players in a band, and the band needed a trombone player. I've never ever played trombone in my life, like literally never played trombone in my life. They had an instrument, they had a spare instrument that they wanted to give to the person who was willing to start learning it, and I put my hand up and I said, look, I'll give it a go. It worked out well because, I can play trumpet and I just need to adjust some things. I need to just learn the right positions, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I realized that they're actually composed of the chords, and I know chords well, so it worked out pretty well for me. This is why you need to try out new things. Let me tell you, you will build confidence. And this ties back to the first thing I said about making a fool out of yourself. The more things you try, the more likely you're okay with looking like a fool. And this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand, that true greatness comes from literally not caring what other people think. And this leads me to point number 3. When you don't care about what other people think, people find that very, very attractive. It's like a magnet. People start to draw close to you. They draw closer to you because they realize that you're confident, you don't care what other people think. Like today, I'm literally wearing, and I did this on purpose, I'm wearing checkered pants and I'm wearing a stripy shirt. And I got a few comments for that, I'm not gonna lie. And I expected that to happen. One of my colleagues was like, oh, you look like some maths checkered book or something. And I asked her, oh, what, do you not like the pants? She just said, I love the pants and I love the shirt. I just don't like how it goes together. And you know what, I thought, I don't care, I'm gonna go, and then I made an excuse. I was like, I don't have another shirt, whatever. But the point is this, I made myself look like a fool. Some people, I don't know, some people might like the outfit, but I made myself look like a fool on purpose because I don't care what other people think. And that is so important. On social media, and I get this a lot, people are like, oh, I could never build a channel, I could never grow a channel because I'm scared of what other people say in the comments. Well, for starters, the people that talk negatively in the comments do not have a life. Number two, they are not confident. Number three, they wish they were you. Honestly, if you're running a channel and if you are, you know, doing something different and coming out your comfort zone, like me speaking in front of a camera now, I never thought in my life I would be able to speak in front of a camera like this. And now I do it on a daily basis. People love that. The right people, this is what I want to say. The right people that see what you are doing and that you're building a channel, you're going out your comfort zone, you're helping other people and you're creating content every day. They know how much effort that takes. They know how much flack you might get for it. And I do get in the comments, oh, you bought your channel, or why are you doing this? Shut up. You know, all these negative comments that, like, I understand where they come from. They come from a place of lack. Nobody who is greater than you is ever going to tell you something negative. They're always going to give you constructive criticism. They're not going to tell you bad things. All the bad comments are people that are lower than you, remember that. And this is why you shouldn't care, because just like in social media, in the real world, people don't care. Your brain might be saying to yourself, everyone's looking at me, everyone's thinking about me. Because at the end of the day, social anxiety is all a thing in here. Social anxiety does not exist. Let me reiterate. Social anxiety just doesn't exist, because if it did exist, everybody would be socially anxious. It is a concept created by us, it's created in our head, but theoretically it does exist, but in practice it doesn't exist. Why I know this? Because yeah, it's a psychological phenomenon. It's something that can, you know, it affects so many people, like to a point where people can't even speak to other people in parties and stuff like that. But like Jordan Peterson said, you've got to confront the monster, and the monster is the social anxiety. The monster is looking like a fool, and that's why I'm telling this video. Start looking like a fool and don't care. Start doing things, maybe start sharing jokes, sharing stories that you wouldn't normally share. Say something out of the blue that other people are like, oh, okay. And the world goes on. Nobody got hurt, you know. It wasn't broadcasted on live TV, was it? No, it wasn't. So in this video, I just want to let you know, do not care about what other people think, and try and look like a fool sometimes, like me. Wear things that just don't fit, because apparently a stripy shirt and checkered pants don't fit. But that's what society tells us. I probably won't wear this outfit again, but it was just an example for you. An example that you should just... And this leads me to point 4 actually. You should go against societal norms. What do I mean by that? Society has created certain norms that make other people and everyone around those people think that something is normal. But what is normal? Normal, there is no such thing. Just like I'm saying about social anxiety, there's no such thing as normal, because one way or another, someone is different to another person, so there's no norm. Maybe in society there is, but let's try and get that out of our head. Let's just realize that for you to live, and for you to live life properly into the full, you should go against societal norms. You should do things that are completely out of the box, and that's how you get out of the comfort zone, guys. That's point 4. Point 5, it just doesn't exist. It's just, social anxiety is a thing created here. And when you sort your mindset out, when you sort out your way of thinking, and just being able to understand that nobody cares, when you go out there in front of public and you say something or you try and make new friends, nobody cares. People see the real you. They don't see the things that might be wrong with you, the things that, you know, you might see as a lack. If people truly in their heart want the best for you, they're gonna see through that. And that's the beauty of life. You're the only one that creates life, and you're the only one that creates this beautiful life. So I hope you create your own beautiful life. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about this video.